The Clockmaker's Secret. In a quiet village nestled in the rolling hills of England, there lived an old clockmaker named Elias Greaves. He was a solitary man with silver hair, round spectacles, and fingers perpetually stained with oil and brass dust. Elias had lived in the village of Windmere his entire life, and his shop, Greaves and Time, had been a fixture of the main street for over 50 years. The villagers often said Elias could fix anything that ticked. His tiny shop was filled with the soft hum of gears, the rhythmic click of pendulums, and the scent of old wood and polish. Children would press their noses to his display window, marveling at the dancing cuckoos and twirling ballerinas inside glass-domed clocks. But there was one clock Elias never let anyone see. It was hidden behind a thick velvet curtain in the back room of his shop. No one but Elias had laid eyes on it, and no one dared ask. One autumn evening, just as the sun dipped below the hills and painted the sky in shades of fire and gold, a girl named Clara wandered into the shop. She was new to the village, curious and full of questions. Her eyes sparkled with wonder as she examined every clock. "Do they all tell the same time?" she asked. Elias smiled, his voice soft like the ticking of a watch. "They do, in a way. But some clocks tell more than just the time." Clara tilted her head. "Like what?" He didn't answer, simply turned away and returned to his workbench. Clara became a regular visitor. Over the weeks, she watched Elias work and slowly earned his trust. One day, after months of quiet friendship, Elias finally beckoned her behind the curtain. What she saw took her breath away. The hidden clock was enormous, built into the wall. Its face was a constellation of dials and spinning orbs. It ticked not with sound, but with a hum, like the deep purring of a distant engine. Tiny stars moved in patterns, and symbols she didn't understand rotated slowly behind crystal panels. "This," Elias said, "is the heart of time." Clara whispered, "What does it do?" "It doesn't just tell time, it shapes it," Elias said, voice trembling. "It's why this village never truly changes. Why the storms always pass us by. Why old age comes slowly here." Clara stared in awe. "You control time?" The Clockmaker's Secret. In a quiet village nestled between two misty mountains, there lived an old clockmaker named Elias Granger. He was a man of few words but many secrets. His workshop was filled with countless ticking clocks of all shapes and sizes, grandfather clocks, cuckoo clocks, pocket watches, and even clocks with no faces at all. But there was one clock Elias never let anyone touch, an enormous, black wooden grandfather clock with silver hands and no numbers. The villagers spoke of Elias with a mixture of respect and curiosity. They often wondered how he knew exactly when storms would come, or why his clocks never needed winding. Some said he could talk to time itself. One autumn evening, a young orphan girl named Lila stumbled into Elias's shop during a thunderstorm. Her clothes were soaked, and her eyes were filled with tears. Elias, without saying a word, handed her a warm blanket and a cup of chamomile tea. From that night onward, Lila never left. As the years passed, Elias taught Lila everything he knew about clocks, how to listen to the ticking, how to repair broken gears, and how to build a timepiece from nothing but metal, wood, and patience. But he never spoke of the black clock in the corner. He never even looked at it. One winter morning, Lila awoke to find the workshop silent. Elias had passed away in his sleep. As she wandered through the shop, her eyes rested on the black clock. For the first time, the glass door was ajar. Inside was a small silver key and a note that read, "Only when the time is right." For weeks, Lila stared at the clock, wondering what it meant. Finally, on the night of the winter solstice, when the moon was full and the stars shimmered like crystals, she felt the moment had come. With trembling fingers, she turned the key in the clock. The ticking began, not loud, but deep, like the beat of a distant drum. The silver hand spun wildly, then stopped at midnight. The clock began to glow softly, and a hidden compartment opened, revealing an old leather journal. Inside were entries written in Elias's careful handwriting, describing how he had once stumbled upon a rift in time while hiking in the mountains. The rift had given him visions of the past and future. The black cloth, he wrote, was built to stabilize the rift, so that one day, someone pure of heart could use it to travel through time, to fix what was broken. At the bottom of the journal was a single question. Will you be the one to carry this burden? Lila closed the book and looked around the shop that had become her home. She thought of all the people she could help, all the moments she could mend. And without another thought, she turned the key once more. The clock struck 1. And Lila vanished into time. The letters beneath the oak. Emma had always loved the oak tree that stood at the edge of Meadow Lane. Towering and ancient, it had been there long before she was born, and according to her grandmother, it had once been a place where lovers carved initials and made promises under the stars. Every summer since she was 16, Emma would ride her bike to the tree and sit beneath it with her journal, writing letters she would never send, to someone she hadn't met yet. Dear you, one began. I don't know who you are, where you are, or when you'll find me. But I believe in you already. I believe in love that grows slowly, roots deep, and stays. She would fold the letters and tuck them into a wooden box she hid beneath the twisted roots of the tree. Year after year, she returned, writing of heartbreaks, dreams, hopes, and quiet moments that felt too fragile for the world. She never missed a summer. Then, one year, she came to the tree and found something unexpected, a letter. It was not hers. It was addressed, to the girl who writes to love. Emma's heart raced as she opened it. Dear girl under the oak. I found your letters last year. I didn't take them, just read one. Then another. Then all of them. I didn't mean to intrude, but your words, they felt like home. I started coming back. Hoping you'd show up. Hoping you'd stay long enough for me to say hello. But I never saw you. I think we must come at different times. So I'm writing this, to say, I believe in you too. He signed it, a boy who reads. Every week that summer, they left each other letters, never meeting, only writing. They told each other everything, about their pasts, their fears, the color of the sky on days they missed each other. They fell in love with words, with the quiet company of someone who felt like they had always been meant to find. Until one day, the letter simply said, meet me under the oak at sunset. If you're ready. Emma stood beneath the tree, heart trembling like the leaves above her. And then he came, Jake. Tall, with a quiet smile and ink on his hands, just as she had imagined him. Neither spoke at first. They just stood, eyes wide with the realization that the person they had dreamed of was finally real. I was always writing to you, she whispered. I was always waiting to find you, he replied. And just like the roots of the oak beneath them, their love grew, strong, steady, and endless.